book I thought we might read for Memorial Day. It's the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Here are some facts about the Pledge of Allegiance and the American flag. So when Americans recite the Pledge of Allegiance, we place our hands on our hearts to show what we mean and what we are saying. Here are some pictures of the landscapes of the United States. This one is a Monument Valley in Utah. This one is a lighthouse in Portland, Maine. This one is the barn in the state of Washington. And this picture is the mountains in Lake Powell, Arizona. This is the world's largest American flag. It is 255 feet wide by 505 feet long. It was unfurled for display on Flag Day, June 14th, 1998, at Moffett Field Air Station in California. The first American flag was made in 1776. The 13 stripes and stars in the stars in the circle stand for the 13 original colonies: Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, New Hampshire, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Delaware, Virginia, Maryland, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia. In 1969, American astronaut Neil Armstrong left an American flag on the moon. These landmarks are in Washington, D.C., the capital of the United States. This is the dome where members of Congress meet in the building to make laws. This is a monument of Abraham Lincoln. And this is a monument for George Washington. This picture is a statue of Justice. In her left hand, the statue holds the scales, which represent the decisions between right and wrong. In her right hand, she holds a sword, which represents punishment for the crime. The statue is wearing a blindfold to show you that justice does not favor one person over another. And this flag at the bottom is flying only halfway up the flagpole. And when this happens, some Americans die, and we fly the flag at half-mast as a sign of respect. Here's the Pledge of Allegiance. What does the Pledge of Allegiance mean? It means when we pledge allegiance, we promise to be loyal to our country. Our government is called a republic. In a republic, people vote in elections in which leaders are chosen to run the government and make laws that affect every citizen. The United States cannot be divided. That's why we say one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all means all Americans should have the same freedoms and should be treated fairly. And then these are days that you can display your flag at home, like certain holidays and days of respect. Did you know that Betsy Ross sat near George Washington in church? When a flag gets too old, it has to be burned in a special ceremony. No one knows what happened to the very first flag. It had a nickname. It was called Old Glory. A flag is never supposed to touch the ground. When the president is not in Washington, D.C., the flag outside the White House does not fly. There is always a flag hanging where people vote. The first United States flag is believed to have been designed by Frances Hopkinson and sewn by Betsy Ross, a seamstress from Philadelphia. The stars and stripes on the first flag stood for the first 13 colonies. These colonies later became states. The stars were arranged in a circle to show that every colony was equal. And here's our flag for today. We still remember the 13 colonies by the stripes, and we have a star. There are 50 of them, one for each state of the United States. Red stands for bravery, white stands for liberty, and blue stands for justice. I hope you'll take time to put out your flag if you're not on this Memorial Day. And I hope that as you do the activity in the memorial packet for Memorial Day, that you'll learn something about our history and this wonderful country that we live in.